welcome to like part 2 of last video, of the last one, which got posted today, which is yesterday for you guys because it's going up on Sunday. Excuse my hands, I talk with my hands. So this video is on tips for bulking and like macros, because I've been trying to figure out my macros lately, because that's something that I haven't learned, so I want to teach you guys what I've learned. By no means is this some wizard crap or anything that like is crazy knowledgeable. This is some pretty baseline information, but if you're just starting out, this stuff's super duper helpful. So let's jump right into it with macros and stuff. One, they're important. I definitely say track your macros, because there's no negative that will come from you tracking your macros, and it will just give you experience and help you be healthier, and it might excite you. Some days it sucks, other days you're like, yo, it's just as exciting. Okay, so I wrote some stuff down on this paper. It's not really easy to see, so you might need to get a whiteboard. But so what you start out with is, so let's say you're bulking. Okay, that's what this whole video is about. You start out with your weight. So I weigh 198 pounds. You need to know that, and you need to know how many calories you're going to be eating a day. Now calories, I can't quite remember the percentages, but it depends on how much weight you're trying to gain a week, whether it's 0.5 pounds or a pound. Now, I've been bulking for about 3 months, and I'm just starting to figure out macros, so this bulk has been by no means been a great bulk. Next year when I'm bulking, if I do bulk, I think it will be way better, and I'll have way more knowledge on what I'm actually doing. So right now I'd say I'm eating around 4,000 calories to around 3,500 calories. So in this math equation, we're using 4,000 as our calorie goal. So then what's recommended, now this doesn't go for if you're completely Olympia. I don't know anything about this. This is just a baseline number that is recommended. It can be used. You want, out of those 4,000 calories, 30% of that you want to be fat. So what you do is you take your 4,000 calories, if you really can't see, you take your 4,000 and multiply it by 0.3, and you get 1,200 calories. Now, to figure out where your grams come in of your fat, because your macros can go into calories, but it's hard for calories to go into macros, because if it just says 4,000, you don't know where it's coming from. Now you know how many macros you need, so you take your 1,200 and you divide it by 9, because there's 9 calories in every 1 fat. So then you get 133 grams of fat. Now that's how much fat you need every day to reach this goal. If that's 4,000 calories, if that's 4,500 calories, if that's 3,500 calories. For me, I probably need to be around 36 or somewhere. This is just an easier number to work with. So we figured out our fat. That's pretty easy math. If you're in high school, college, middle school probably. I could have probably done this in middle school. It's not hard whatsoever. It's just basic concept of numbers. Basic algebra. Protein now, it is recommended that you have 1 gram per every pound of body mass inside of your body. So well, my camera just cut out, so I don't know why it did that, but we're back now. I didn't really have anything on my card, but it said insufficient space, so I deleted some things. Hopefully this works now. Back to it. Protein. 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight that you have. So that's why we need the 198 at the start. So you take your 1 gram times how much you weigh, in this case 198, and you get 198 grams of protein. Now you take 198 times 4, because there's 4 calories in every gram of protein. Multiply that, you get 792 calories. When you're thinking about it, you're like, that is nothing compared to the fat. But if you're also thinking about it, getting in 198 grams of protein in a day, one protein shake's about 30. Like, just judge that. That's a lot of protein. So if you truly think about it, that's a lot harder, even though compared to that fat. So we have our protein and our fat. Now it's carbs. Carbs, now here's where it's going to get tricky, depends on what your goals are, it depends on what you're eating. I would not say, oh, now I have all these carbs, I'm just gonna eat French fries with the rest of my carbs. No, these carbs should be good carbs like rice and noodles and things that are giving you dietary value, not like a bag of chips, because that's, or Snickers bars or stuff, things that have just sugar and stuff in it that your body won't actually use to the best of its abilities. So you do it right and do good carbs. Now it all depends. In the end, calories are calories, but you should be focused on good carbs. So the rest of it will fill up your carbs. So you'll take our base number of 4,000, subtracted by the fat, which was 1,200, subtracted by protein, which was 792. You end up with, you need 2,008 calories of carbs. Subtract or divide that by 4, which is, it's 1 gram of carb equals 4 calories. Easy to remember. And you get 502 grams of carbs. Now it's pretty high in carbs, but if you think about it, you're having spaghetti for dinner, you have the little bit of protein, but then you have all the noodles. So I don't think carbs, personally, if you're a human, you love carbs. Now, I'm gonna have to reassess everything when it comes to cutting, because cutting is a completely different ballgame, and it's very different. So I'll have to figure that out because I've never done that before. But I'll make another video like this for that. Now we're gonna go into some more tips now. So that's the basic idea of the math and stuff with macros, and kind of what I'm trying to judge stuff off of, and still trying to figure out because I haven't been tracking. I've been tracking macros for like a week, so I'm still figuring it out too. Now, some tips for bulking. If you're trying to gain weight, a protein smoothie is so easy. Like we just said, 190 grams of protein is not easy to get in. So if you have a protein smoothie that's 30 grams of protein, that is extremely helpful, because now all of a sudden, and it's liquid. If your stomach doesn't feel great, liquid is just so easy to get down. So smoothies, whether that's like a peanut butter smoothie with a chocolate whey, or a fruit smoothie with vanilla whey, my personal favorite. Throw some yogurt in there, it's bomb. Now, another tip, weigh your foods. If you're trying to track your macros, if you're trying to do it right, I'd say weigh your foods. You know what you're putting into your body, you know it better. When I wasn't weighing my foods, I didn't quite know what I was putting into my body. I had a rough idea, but now with this, I feel like I have a greater understanding, and I just feel more knowledgeable and like understand what's actually happening. So I'd say weigh your food. Schedule your eating. Any day that I kind of like go out of my little schedule, it messes me up. So my schedule is kind of jacked still. I don't eat breakfast normally till like 11 o'clock. So you could say that's me fasting. Sometimes I have a granola bar before I go to the gym. When I wake up, I just don't have an appetite. So I save that. Don't want to feel like I'm throwing up. So I come home from the gym, big meal. And I eat lunch around like 2 or 3, depending on the day. If I work or whatever, it's normally around 2. And then I have dinner. Depending on the day at work, I have to eat 2 separate smaller dinners. But for example, today I worked in the middle of the day. So I woke up, I ate my breakfast, I went to work, and at work I had a meal at like 2 o'clock and a meal at 3:45 before I went and worked out. I came home, and then I had a bigger meal, which is my ground beef and rice and a smoothie tonight. And now it's like 11 o'clock. So yeah, like that's been my day of meals. So I try to space it out and meal prep it. Normally though, it will go my breakfast, my beef and rice and smoothie, and then I'll do whatever my mom makes, because I'm still a kid and I'm not competing for anything crazy, so it's okay to do that. Another thing, like, don't beat yourself up about what you're eating. Now, don't go eat a whole box of Oreos if you're trying to be healthy, but at the same time, you gotta live a little. It's the holidays or it's just someone's birthday. You can't just cut out food. You're human. Live. We all die. Just live. Then I'd say train hard. It's hard if you're not training to eat a lot of food, because your body's like, I have all this food and I've done nothing with it. Now, not only do you want to train hard, but you want to train hard because your body is in an anabolic state. What that means is, like, the biological term of anabolic is they're not eating themselves. They're growing, and that's good. So that's kind of important. This SD card's about to run out. I don't remember where I was at. Something about anabolic pathways. I need my camera to focus. Focus. I was talking about anabolic, and you're being anabolic in an anabolic state. I can't tell if my camera's not focused or if I'm just tired and my eyes aren't focused. So the reason why you want to train hard is because your body's in a calorie surplus. So it's at the best state for it to be putting on muscle. So what you need to be doing is eating as much food as you can, or not, training as hard as you can. Because if you're training as hard as you can, you're utilizing the fuel that's getting put into your body so it can basically prioritize off of what your body's doing. And it makes it easier to get food down. If you're working, if you go to the gym and you work your butt off, you come and you're finished and you're drenched in sweat, and you're just so, it was an amazing workout. Like Zeus was there and Odin was like high-fiving you. Like literally, if that's how it is, that's not gonna be every day. But if you're working out that hard, you're going to want to eat food, and you're gonna feel okay eating food. Now, if you're just sitting on your butt all day, sometimes you don't feel okay eating food. You're like, man, I'm just fat, which is hard. If you're bulking and you've been shredded before, it's not fun feeling fat. Like, you're not fat, you're stronger, but you don't look nearly as good as you used to. So, like, honestly, it's just big stuff. I hit my keyboard again. It irks me, dude. I mean, like, honestly, though, that's, like, my tips and stuff. Like, don't get too hard on yourself. In the end, you're living your life. You're trying to do the best you can. Take any of this you want with a grain of salt. I'm literally 17 years old. I've only been trying to figure stuff out for like the past 6 months in fitness, but I've been working out for about 2.5 years. I definitely say do what you want to do with fitness in general. If you're having fun and you're not having to track your macros, good for you. But if you're like me and you want to become the best that your body can physically be, then literally do your macros, figure out what you're doing at home. Because the second I've started tracking my food and now macros, I just felt so great. This last training cycle, if you guys have watched me, I hope I'm gonna blow my old PRs out of the water. I'm gonna do a mock meet coming up, but I did 255 on squat the other day for 5 reps, low bar. That's something I never thought I'd be able to do. A year ago, 225 high bar was a distant thought. That was like a 1 rep max, maybe, on a good day. Like, that was me a year ago. To today, where that 255 flew, and I'm debating doing like 265 for 5 on Monday. Like, that really is saying something, and I've been tracking my food, and I can honestly say that it helps so much in the gym. Your gym, working out is important, but if you don't have your nutrition dialed in, it's useless. You'll feel good about yourself, but you won't go anywhere crazy. So that's my thoughts here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna make one about cutting probably in about a month. If you like these type of videos, these are easier for me to make and good for me because I have to learn. So that's good. So I'm gonna edit this though right now, get it ready so it's up tomorrow at 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week we'll probably get 2 out too. Maybe we'll split them up a little bit throughout the week, but that's the game plan. Probably a week of training. So we'll see. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.